anyone to operate the camera. So bear with me. I will not be able to drive the Lexus IS 350F, unfortunately, but we're still going to work this thing out. So let's see here. There it is. And I have my handy dandy piece of paper that, yes, Lomit, we are live, that is going to tell me all the questions that were asked on Instagram at MilesPerHr, if you want to follow me there and ask questions early, and the ones that were asked on the YouTube community page. So I'm going to get to those first. If you want to follow me on Instagram at MilesPerHr, on TikTok at MilesPerHr, same thing as the channel name, and you'll get some extra content and ask me questions early there. So first, I just want to give a quick shout out to Aaron Raichura, who is the latest patron on the MilesPerHr Patreon account. Thank you so much, Aaron, for your support. I really, really appreciate it. It's a lot of work to put these videos together, and just your support is so meaningful. So thank you so much, Aaron. Hello, Mohammed. And I am first going to answer Aaron's questions. So he asked, do you think this iteration of the Lexus IS inches a little closer to its main competitor in the segment, the BMW 3 Series? And I think that's a great question. And in fact, this whole compact sports sedan segment is super competitive. There being so many different options that each of the cars that the automakers are putting out have to just be killer. They have to be so good in order to convince buyers not to look at any of the myriad of other options. And I think that Aaron's question is great. Do we think that the IS 350 with the updates for 2021, which are almost exclusively exterior, there's no real changes to the interior, do we think those are enough to put it in, you know, fighting stance with the BMW 3 Series? And I think it just falls short. This car has many strengths that I will get to through this video, but it doesn't quite measure up in the most important aspect, in my opinion, which is performance. It's driving feel. Are you really enjoying driving this car on a daily basis? I enjoy it. I don't enjoy it to the extent I enjoy the newest 3 Series. So I think the changes stylistically, I think the car is very dynamic looking. It's a really attractive car. It catches people's attention quite often as I'm driving it around. And especially in this color, this Ultrasonic Blue Mica paint job, which is only an extra $595, which in the world of luxury cars is just fantastic. Lomit, do you think this looks like a BMW? That's interesting. I disagree. I think BMWs have very distinctive design language. So do Lexus with their latest, angular designs. And I don't think this looks like a 3 Series personally, but to each his own. So that was Aaron's first question. His second question, seems like Lexus IS is behind the times. There's still a naturally aspirated engine in an era of forced induction. He said turbocharging, supercharging, that's forced induction. Or is there still a market for a car like this? I think it's a great question. It's first a statement. It's just saying Lexus and the IS appear to be behind the times. That's Toyota, that's Lexus. They are just slower with the adoption of certain technologies. Forced induction, you think, hey Kendall, what's up? Forced induction, you think that is something that's now pervasive in the auto industry. Why is Lexus not there yet? I don't know. They're slow. Hi, Raja. They're slow to get there. So I think that I wouldn't say this car is behind the times. In terms of performance, it's slightly lagging because they're not embracing forced induction. Fuel economy, slightly lagging because they're not embracing forced induction. The interior technology is really where there's a strong disconnect between this vehicle and the latest vehicles that we're seeing from like BMW and Mercedes-Benz, who have just really embraced better interior technologies. Yes, this has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto now, but it's not wireless, and the infotainment is really clunky and not fun to use. So yeah, that's my thought. I think that there's still a market for this, especially in terms of just like, sorry for all as usual, we've got leaf blowing and gardening happening in this parking lot, sorry. So I think there's still a market for this in traditional luxury stance. From comfort perspective, these seats in this car are the most comfortable sports sedan seats I've ever sat in, ever. And that counts for something. If you just want traditional comfort, if you want a sharp looking car, that's the Lexus IS. All right, next question. And I will get to all you guys, your questions and comments on YouTube. Just bear with me. I'm gonna get first to these ones from Instagram and YouTube's community page. So next question from Uber Lyft, how does the horn sound? So let's go find out. This is a quick look at the interior. And then let's dab that horn. That's a unique sounding horn. I don't think I've heard a horn like that. It's, I'm trying to think what I compare it to. What would you guys compare that horn sound to? It's not higher pitched than normal. It has a unique sound though. It definitely gets people's attention, I'll say that. Next question, is that your new car from the Conqueror? No, the Conqueror. I don't own any of the vehicles that you see on this channel, with the exception of my 1994 Land Cruiser that was in my 50,000 subscriber special. So no, this is not my new personal car. I didn't buy it. I'm just reviewing it, as I do all the other cars on this channel. Next question from JBO Surf. Is it true that an LIS 500 is coming? Great question, JBO Surf. Yes, it has been confirmed that an IS 500 is coming. That's their nomenclature. Is it going to be a successor to the ISF? Most likely. So we should probably anticipate the V8, the 5-liter V8 coming from the LC 500 to be found in the IS 500. Sorry, all the names are confusing. So yes, that is coming. Next question from the AE. Is it daily drive? I abbreviated the AE because their actual username I don't find terribly appropriate, but I appreciate their questions and their participation. So I'm just abbreviating them the AE. Is it daily driver material? Yes, I think this car is a wonderful daily driver that is really its strong suit. It's super comfortable. It is in no way stiff. It's a true luxury car. I think it's sharp to look at. Of course, that doesn't affect the daily driver comfort. The only downside, and I'll get into this, is the interior technology, which is just kind of frustrating to use. That, and if you daily have people in the back seats, which we'll also get into that, then that's also going to be frustrating. Ethan, you make a good point. Let's get into the interior as I answer the rest of these questions. Do you get attention in this? Asked Dylan. Sorry, I'm not really supposed to be jumping into these YouTube questions yet, but you definitely get attention, especially in this color. Look how, like, this color just pops in the sun. You can see the metallic flake there. Really nice. All right, so going back to the questions as we take a peek at the interior here. Sorry, it's very difficult to do both of these things at once, answer the questions and show off the car, so apologies. Would you buy this as your only vehicle or choose a competitor? We've already kind of gone over the competition just a little bit. Some of its main competitors are going to be the BMW 3 Series, the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, Audi A4, Genesis G70, oh man, so many others, Acura TLX. There's a lot of them in this segment. Would I pick this one? If you prize comfort overall, 100%. This vehicle is so comfortable on a daily drive that it just, but then again, like you're buying a sports sedan, so you also want performance, and it doesn't not do performance, it just doesn't do it quite as well as its main competitors. But these seats right here are superbly comfortable. Like I said, the most comfortable sports sedan seats I've ever sat in. Did Lexus do enough to keep pace with the updated G70? Asked Blake. Yes, I really like the G70. I don't think that you're losing out on too much by going with the IS. I actually prefer the styling of this new IS to the G7. The G70 looks good. I think this one looks even sharper. From a performance standpoint, I think the G70 has the edge. Just that 300, if you go with a 3.3T, that 365 horsepower engine, let's hop in. 365 horsepower engine to this 311 horsepower is just not the same. Let's fire it up. When you do that, you're gonna get some cool startup graphics. Check that out. Yeah, that's rad. So we're not gonna keep it in eco mode, so we're gonna go over here to Sport and then Sport Plus. I'll give it a little bit of exhaust and try to give you some sound if I can. Oh, didn't mean to pull that out. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. You know what I love? They don't soft limit, so I was able to fully rev it out just a few minutes after starting it up. A few seconds actually. So love that. Okay, here's the interior. Not really updated for 2021, so kind of standard kit here. This infotainment is a touchscreen in addition to, but it's like, you see, it's like slow and kind of frustrating. You've got this box that you can pull up on the side and switch through different menus here. But it's not the best. And then they've got this trackpad down here that is pretty responsive, but it's just like, it doesn't really go exactly where you slide your finger to. So, and it just feels like you have to do extra moves to get to certain things. So at least it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So I would just honestly engage those the moment I got in the car and just use those. I would not really mess around with the native infotainment in this car. All right, love this question. How fast do you have to go to bullseye womp rats in that thing? Asked Simon. Well, Simon, you need to go as fast as the T16, and I don't think the Lexus IS 350 F Sport is as fast as the T16, but I don't know. We're talking about hypothetical universes. So, next question. Shouldn't the V6 be the base engine, considering its performance relative to the competition? Great question, Blake. So, the Lexus IS is available with 2 engines. This is going to be really interesting, try to do this one-handed. It's available with 2 engines. It's a base 2.0 turbo that makes 240 horsepower. Oh, I did it. And thank you, hydraulics. I don't have to try to find the prop stand. Prop 1. Or you can get this naturally aspirated V6. This one makes 311 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. Both are connected to an 8-speed automatic gearbox. And with the V6, this will get to 60 in 5.6 seconds, says Car and Driver. 311 horsepower is a fair amount of power. It's not quite as much as competitors like the BMW M340i or Genesis G70 are making in the 360 range, but it's a fair amount of power. And the 240 horsepower base is not too far off the base motors that you can find in those competitors, which are making like 255, 260 to start. So yeah, I don't think that this should be the base engine, but I do think that it's not as potent, not as exciting as the upgraded engines in its competitors. Yeah, the 0 to 60 time, Jocelyn, is not, it's not the fastest, definitely in this segment. Rivals are getting in the very low 5s or even high 4s. All right, getting back to these questions. So is the TRD Camry a better driving car considering you can't defeat the electronic nannies? Asked Thomas. Yes, that's one downside to this car, and kind of emphasizes the fact that this vehicle isn't super focused on ultra high performance. You can't turn off the electronic nannies fully. You can turn off traction control, so I'll show you where you do that. Press this button right here, and you can turn off traction control when you're in one of the sport drive modes, but you can't turn off stability control. So you can't hold this for longer and have it turn off any other systems. It'll just do traction control. So that's a bit of a disappointment. Oh, what? Okay, so you can turn off variable stability control. Sorry, you can turn off those things. There's like one more level that stays on at all times. So you can't fully break this car loose, which is, it's kind of a bummer sometimes. But I don't think that a Camry TRD is a better driver's car than this. No. Lexus still has the edge over the Camry. Don't want to forget that. Let's see. Horsepower from Ziv to Villa. Yes, it is. This one makes 311 horsepower from its 3.5 liter V6. Base engine's going to make 240 horsepower. Backseat as bad as before, asked Pablito. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I've already done this. So that's my driving position at 6 feet tall. And let's hop in. Okay. Moving this over and down. So that's the amount of knee room I have. The foot pockets are narrow, so I can't slide my feet forward anymore. I decided to wear shorts today. And yeah, so a tiny bit of knee room, not much at all. And headroom, let's see if I can flip this around. It's going to be difficult because I'm on a... Come on, there we go. Okay, so this is the headroom situation. My head is on the roof. It's on the roof. So this is not going to be comfortable for full-size adults back here that's not going to be enjoyable. What questions am I answering? Mario, I'm answering first the questions from Instagram and YouTube's community page. Then I'm going to get to the ones from YouTube. Almost done with these. We just had a ton from Instagram and YouTube community. Is the 8-speed still slow, or did it get up to BMW ZF levels? It's much faster than the last IS I drove. So the shifts are pretty crisp and fairly responsive, using the paddles going into a manual mode. But it's not quite up to the level of a BMW ZF gearbox. Close, but not quite there. I'm going to close this up. And next question, that was from nrug25, by the way. How does it compare to the Q50 Red Sport? Asks Iridium Q50 RS. So the Q50 Red Sport is going to be more expensive to start. This one to start is $40,000. The as tested price is, I think it's like 49. I listed it. Sorry, I listed it in. No, it actually might be in the low 50s. I listed it in the video description, so check me there. But the Q50 RS, both that car and this one have frustrating infotainments. But the Q50 RS has 400 horsepower. This is 311. It's going to be quicker. I think the exhaust sound in the Q50 RS is better than this. Both of them are extremely comfortable to daily drive. I think this looks better. So you can go back and forth. The Q50 RS is going to have a little more rear passenger space as well. So if you plan on having passengers back there often, that one might be where you want to lean. It's a very interesting proposition because I think you could probably get from a dealership a crazy deal on a Q50 RS right now, whereas this being brand new, I don't know if you could. Aaron asks, real or fake dual exhaust? So what you're hearing from outside the car is going to be real. Inside they are amplifying it through the stereo speakers, so it's not all genuine, which is unfortunate. Do you think Lexus needs to redesign their cars? Asked writer George. No, I think the exterior, I really like it actually. I've got all the doors open right now. Sorry. But no, I really like the exterior of these cars, especially the IS. The other models, I don't love quite as much. The LS, not being my absolute favorite design, but the IS I think looks really sharp. So no, I don't think they need to redesign it. And can you turn off the fake exhaust sound? Asked Paladin. I don't believe so. No, I've hunted into the infotainment. I couldn't find a way to turn it off. Fitness for Fun, is the amplified exhaust sound good? Yes, I think it sounds pretty good. So if you can just like not tell yourself you're listening to amplified exhaust, then you can actually have a good time. Leading on with the design, Harsh29 asked, do you like the grille? Yes, I actually do. I think it's, the bold spindle design doesn't work on every car, but I like this grille, especially blacked out. Jocelyn, sorry you missed a few live Q&As. Don't worry about it. Thank you for joining this one. What do you think of the car's safety and convenience technology? Asked Harsh, and that is going to be the last of these questions, by the way. Now I'm going to get into the YouTube questions. What do I think of the safety and convenience technologies? I think that this vehicle coming with standard driver aids like adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and steering assist is really nice. And I think that, Lexus and Toyota vehicles are just very safe. They always get 5-star ratings from the IIHS and the NHTSA. So I think the safety is definitely there. The convenience technologies are really bad. Like, they need to really work on these. User friendliness and ease of use are just not there. This digital instrument cluster is super cool, the way that it can change up. Okay, so you can press this button here to make this move, which is pretty neat. Ooh. But there's not a whole lot of additional information that you can show on this screen. Make it go back. You can just pull up kind of your basic stuff. But the different ways that the display can change as you go through different drive modes is cool. That's all fine. This infotainment is where they need work. The resolution is okay. It's certainly not the best. And just the way that you can, I'm glad that they have the touch functionality, but I also like additional redundancy. So I like having a trackpad or selector that works. This one is just, it's a little touchy. It's a little finicky. So this can be improved. It has gotten better over the years, so I'm still hopeful that it will continue to improve, but it's not there yet. So that's the one thing the convenience technologies could work. Also, there is no wireless smartphone charging or USB-C charging. You've got 2 regular USBs in there. No USBs for the rear passengers. No USBs, no USB-Cs. No wireless smartphone charging. In fact, nowhere to kind of just stick your phone. You've got cup holders. That's about the only place you can stick your phone. So that, in terms of convenience, is not great. All right, now I'm going to, boy, we got a lot of questions here. Guys, thank you so much for all the questions. Pardon me. May have lost a couple. Sorry. Hello, Dylan. Beautiful car, says Low Meat. Does it have power mirrors? Let's see. Let's go over here. Power adjustment for the mirrors. I don't think they are power folding. In fact, yeah, no power folding for the mirrors. Okay, keep up the great work. Content. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it. Again, appreciate your support on Patreon. Omar, Reha, smiley face, Lomit, thumbs up. What's the size of the wheels? These are 19-inch wheels, Aaron. And they're blacked out. This design is part of the F-Sport package. So you had 19 with this design on the F-Sport. I think they look pretty good. What do you guys think? Yay, nay to the wheels? Also, what do you guys think of the color? I love this color. Did it start with a live, yet it's 12? Yes, the live has started, we're here. I'm eating a blueberry waffle, says Dylan. That's great. This car looks like a blueberry waffle. Just kidding, it's way better looking than a blueberry waffle. Nice car. Cost, Ruppy. Again, I've actually, I can't remember the specific cost of this car here. It's listed in the video description, though. You can check me there. Sorry, I forgot. Looks like a BMW. Nope, disagree. Video quality, no HD. I don't know why. Sorry about that. I have no control over that. That is YouTube. What's up, Kendall? Hi, Raha. Do the rear lights kind of look like the 7 Series? Let's go see. Actually, I haven't shown you the full rear end. I also need to, let me put on the parking light so you can actually see the rears. Switch it up. Again, sorry I don't have someone else holding the camera, so I can't just rev it out for you from back here. So these are what the rear lights look like. I think they look super sharp. So you got the spears up front, and then you got this really sharp bar that runs across the back. It's cool. Oh boy. All right, I may have lost where I was before. Let's see. So while I'm doing this, going back through the comments, check out these spears for the daytime running lights. Horsepower and torque, SOG, 311 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque on this one. Cadillac CT5, asked Mohammed. Premium luxury that you did a few months ago. They're both very comfortable. I think the chassis on the CT5, they're very similar. The chassis tuning on both that and this one are very similar. I prefer the look of this car much more. Technology in the CT5 might be slightly better. The infotainment. Hi, Raha. Okay, so now we're back here. How are you doing, Miles? Asked Sog. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. How are you? Artez Coleman, you're going to drive it on live? I can't because I'm running solo here. Not really safe for me to do that. What's color name? It is Ultrasonic Blue Mica. $600. Well worth it. Is it worth $55,000? So, okay, so Dylan, what is this one as tested $55,000? Probably. Is it worth that? Considering that's really what you're going to be paying for all the other competitors if you get them fully decked out? No, I'm still going to say no. It's close. I'd say this is a $48,000 car to me, not a $55,000. Rashad's TV, hi. Thank you so much for always being on it with the videos and commenting and supporting me. I really appreciate it, Rashad. I bypassed the brand's sporty options because they are incomplete sentence. They're longbowed. Do I enjoy it? Yes. And honestly, I enjoy it because if you really dig into the power, it's there. And the seats are so comfortable that it's enjoyable to drive every day. The transmission isn't bad. It's good. It's not amazing, but it's good. And the handling with the dynamic handling package on this F-Sport that we have, it is adaptive suspension. You've got a limited slip-rear differential. It's engaging to drive. It is. That small car with a V8, oh man, now that would be cool. What did I just do? That would be cool. Hey buddy, what's up? Says Priyanshu. Paint is looking so cool. Yes, I agree. The paint is awesome. CT5 or Lexus IS. I'm going to say Lexus IS. Underpowered and overweight. Underpowered perhaps in this top spec. Overweight, 3,880. It's not too heavy. 3,880 pounds is not too heavy. Do you get attention? Yes, we already answered that. I wonder how the engine looks like. Showed you that. Do cars fart? Asked Matthew Griffin. Excellent question. No, but then again, I've heard a car that sounded like it was farting. The fart can exhaust that I hear on some Civics, pretty bad. Which do you prefer, Lotus Evora, C8 Corvette, or Mercedes-AMG GTR? Oh, really difficult question. If I was going to drive it every day, C8 Corvette. Fun time, out. What does that mean? That doesn't make sense. Out on a canyon road, Lotus Evora, 100%. Does it have all-season tires? I believe these are all seasons. No, Potenza, no, they're summer performance tires. Potenzas. And I thought they were pretty, 235 fronts. Yeah, they're not super wide. 255 rears, I'm guessing. Sounds like a stance that would be expected. 265 rears. Oh, nice. Carbon fiber trim accents on this. No, Aaron, there's not. There's only this faux wood grain that I'm not excited about. It doesn't look or feel all that good. I want to see you drive it. Sorry, OG Takeoff, I cannot. I'm running solo here. Except that I will have POV drives, day drive, night drive, and walk around for this one, so don't miss out on those. Can you describe power relating to another car? Asked Perry. Interesting question. The power delivery in this is, okay, so here's kind of where you're comparing a naturally aspirated engine versus a forced induction one. Forced induction, typically there's a buildup, there's a slight delay. Twin turbo systems have gotten so good that there's almost no delay, but I think that the power response in this is very immediate, it's really thrilling. It's not quite as potent as, for example, the competitors like the C43 or the BMW M340i. So, the thrust is not quite there to the same degree, but it is immediate and it is really exciting. I'm gonna rev it from inside the car. I already did that actually. I'm sorry I can't drive it, guys, because I want you to hear the noise at full throttle. So you'll just have to wait for the POV drive that's gonna come out for that. Acceleration, can't do that because I'm doing this solo. Any other questions I can get to here? So you guys have a lot of good questions. Let me show you from the back seat again. I just want to show as much as I can while we're hanging out. So here's the back again. The seats, like the front, are very, very comfortable, but again, the space is not great. Mustafa, I can see your comments. Sorry, I was first answering Instagram comments and YouTube community. Yes, and the AE, what's up, dude? He was answering that for you. Let's see. Do some acceleration. Again, can't really do that, Mustafa. Hi from Barcelona. Oh, Catalonia. I've been to Catalonia, Daniel. I was there driving an Aston Martin. What was it? Was it the Vantage? Yeah, I think I drove the Vantage in Catalonia. Love Catalonia. Beautiful. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Jocelyn. Thank you, though, from Mustafa. I really appreciate it. What is the weight? It's 3,880 pounds, Aaron. Oh, yeah. So here's what I'm talking about. Like, rear passengers just get stiffed. There's no charging ports. This is all plastic. You do get air vents, but there's just not much back here. You have a center armrest that folds down and some cup holders that come out. Ah, DB11. Good call. That was the DB11 Radek. Good call. It was the DB11. It wasn't the Vantage. Looks old, needs renovation. Yes, I agree, Daniel. It does need a little bit of an update. Compared to the TLX, good question, Fitness for Fun. Gosh, that is a great question. I'm trying to think here. The designs of both the exterior of the TLX and the exterior of this are very similar to me. Similar in terms of their Japanese and, just the sharpness and the aggression. I love that. So between the two, I can't really say which one I prefer more exterior design-wise. Interior might give to the Acura. Gosh, but they both have frustrating infotainments. Why do automakers insist on creating these infotainments that are just not user-friendly, not fun to use? I don't know, but performance-wise, I want the Type S to come out. I want the Type S of the new TLX to come out so I can really compare that, because that would be the direct rival to this. The Type S is going to have more power And I think the chassis tuning that they gave that car is superb. So I would be shocked if it isn't more engaging to drive than this one. This unit, 55,400. Thank you, Daniel. That was how much it was as tested price. Looking again at the interior, let's hop inside. That is the gauge cluster right there. Let me drive. Hang on. I'm not going to go far, but we're in a parking lot. I'm just going to flip it around so we got the light not pointing directly on the things I'm trying to show you for the screens. Look at this carbon fiber lip spoiler that's on the F Sport. This is pretty nice. It's part of the $5,000 dynamic handling package, I believe. So Nahom, we've concluded that is $55,400. Again, I couldn't remember, but it was in my video description. I put that in all my videos. Dual chrome exhaust ports, then a black diffuser, F Sport badges. All right. I'm just gonna flip it around, or just move up to the shade right there. So we don't have a lot of sun on the screens. All right, so now we can see. This is it. Speaking of like old school feel, like this feels super old school. Like just the way you're working through the gear selector, you don't have a knob or anything like that. But I actually super appreciate it because you know exactly where you are within the drive select. And you go down and over, and there's your manual mode, and then you can use the paddles on the steering wheel. Yeah, old school gear selector, Riddick. Okay, so there's the infotainment once again. You can move it over by pressing this button, and that's just fun to do. That's just really entertaining to move it over. And then as you go through the different drive modes, over here, you bring up different views. Can't beat the reliability, Ian. That is a great point, and that is one of the real clear reasons why you would consider this vehicle relative to the competition. It may not be the absolute fastest, it may not have the latest technology, but it is super reliable as a Toyota Lexus vehicle. No, it is not a CVT. It is a 8-speed automatic. Okay, so we've gone through the drive modes: Sport, Sport Plus, press for custom and normal. And then those also show up here on the screen when I'm not in whatever display I'm on right now. Map. So there we go, custom. Does it have roll up and down future? Maybe you mean full or one touch? Yes, for front windows and rear windows, it does have that. All right, guys, I might be wrapping it up here because I can't do the drive because I'm riding solo on this one. I do appreciate you guys tuning in and asking all those great questions. And in future videos, I will really try to have someone asking me the questions so I can drive it and get that for you guys. But thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry, still looking at your questions. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great weekend.